So we got Seth Wyall aboard with us. And we're going to chat with Seth for the next 10 minutes here. Seth is with us. I'd like to hope he is.
Morning, morning.
Lovely. What's going on, Seth?
All right, all right. How is everything with you? And I hope all is well with our viewers.
Yeah, man. Yes, Seth.
All right. So we continuing this morning on the topic of weight. Last week we looked at insulin, and now we're going to look at glucagon. All right, yeah. So I'll just share the screen to show a picture of myself because I've been getting a lot of comments with people saying that I'm overweight. So I would not be fit to be talking about topic on weight.
What? I said
but this is how I look, right? This is how I look. This is my current and present look. So for those that I don't know, maybe it's because I'm sitting and people can only see me from my chest up.
Yeah.
That many have gotten the impression that I am unfit or unhealthy. I am far from that.
Right.
Nowhere near close.
But look, you're looking like Seth Culees there, man.
Yeah, that's my look. But you know, sometimes you know, when you're professing certain things,
yeah,
that have been changing the viewpoint of individuals from the medical system and the whole sick care system that we have, you're going to have people that would come out and try to attack your character and whatnot, and try to discourage people, you know, from utilizing your services because they didn't come up with it.
No, let me ask you something, just for people to know. That is how much exercise a week?
That day, I just started back working out. So I started back working out 6 months now. So that was after 6 months of exercise. Prior to that,
what's your routine?
I do some weight training, but I go to the gym whenever. But I try to, at least these days now, I try to make it a little more consistent, between 4 to 6 days a week. So I try to be a little bit more consistent now.
And how long?
In the past,
how long you train for per day?
Usually an hour under. I don't spend much time in the gym.
Hour would be basic time.
My training have a lot of rest time in between, right? So I don't believe in the fact that you have to be half killing yourself in the gym. Your training has to be smart, right? It has to be strategic. It has to be scientific.
What is smart strategic training?
Right, that is understanding the scientific principles. So like the topic we are dealing with today, which has to do with glucagon. Right, so let me share my screen here again to pull up the chart that I did last week so we could get to understand some things here now.
Okay.
All right, so last week we were looking at with insulin and glucagon, and we saw the process with insulin when blood glucose level increases and it causes the pancreas to release insulin, then the insulin would transport the glucose to your cells, and some goes towards the production of glycogen, which is the stored form of glucose. All right, but here when we're looking at glucagon, that has to do with blood glucose levels when it drops. So when blood glucose level drops, you would see that that also stimulates the production of glucagon from the pancreas, and that causes the liver to convert the glycogen stores back into glucose to supply the body back with glucose, because glucose is the main energy source of the body. It's the only sugar that the human body actually needs. It doesn't need any other type of sugar.
Okay.
All right. Now this happens, this release of glucagon happens when blood glucose levels drop. So this can happen through fasting or through exercise. So this is where the exercise thing comes in as well. Okay. So when you exercise now, you want to exercise in a manner that would quickly drop the blood glucose levels so that you can trigger glucagon to be released in order to get the body to start using its sugar reserves in order to supply glucose back to your blood. Now, glucagon doesn't just cause the body to produce sugar, though that is primarily its purpose, to get blood glucose levels back to where it should be. Its secondary purpose is what we call lipolysis, which is to break down or metabolize fat into energy. So this hormone is what is needed for the body to take the fat that you have stored and break it down and convert it back into a form of usable energy. So this is how you reduce your fat levels, right? So exercise plays a role in this, yes, but fasting also plays a major role in that taking place.
Fasting,
also.
you said?
Fasting, yes. So
we're talking about like intermittent fasting, or what we talking about here?
Correct. So when it comes to the liver, glycogen stores in the liver, and the body can store enough to supply you with energy for about 10 to 18 hours, so that can be depleted within that time. So you would see that some people, sometimes like myself, I would usually eat sometimes once or twice a day, because I eat based on how I feel. I'm not saying everybody can do that at first, because many people's signaling with when they're hungry or not hungry, it's kind of off based on how they have been eating. So they have kind of thrown off the clock and stuff and the mechanisms in the body that, you know, would sense when you're hungry or not. All right. So, but because of that, after 10 to 18 hours, depending on how much glycogen you have stored, that would deplete, and then your body now would have to convert the fat into a form of energy. Now, someone like myself, who haven't consumed any form of sugar in years, right? And when I say any form of sugar, I have not consumed any form of sugar in years, means that my body is always in an insulin sensitive state. Being in an insulin sensitive state, it means when it comes to fat storage, that happens less, right? That happens less because I keep the body in an insulin sensitive state. Today now, the average person is eating sugar all the time. Every single meal.
Yeah, anything, everything is sugar.
In between snack. So they are always going to have issues with their blood glucose level being too high. And insulin and glucagon, all right, they are what you call counter-regulatory hormones. Counter-regulatory meaning that they do the opposite to each other. So they play a balancing act, all right? And for most people, because Trinidad is #1 in the world for diabetes, we are #1 in the world for teenage overweight and obesity, we're #8 in the world for childhood obesity under the age of 5. We are in a bad place. We are one of the most unhealthy countries in the world, all right? We have an issue with that balancing status between, or balancing relationship between insulin and glucagon. The insulin levels are too high because of what we eat. So people are eating badly, and many times people are thinking what they're eating is healthy, because many people look at sometimes just total caloric intake. It's not that simple. It's not just simply about total calories that you consume, how much you consume and how much you burn. That is not how it works. Where the calories come from, the source of the calories is what matters. And it's a long time now that caloric stuff is not even something that people even check again. When I say people, I'm people that understand the science. They don't really take that on.
Right.
Now, what we do know is most people focus on exercise as a means to lose weight. And what I would tell people is the exercise boom started in the early 90s, right? That's when it had the whole exercise boom and everybody started exercising. You get all these, you know, programs on TV and whatnot, and then you start with the certification courses and whatnot. So all of that started to really boom in the 90s. But since then, all diseases have also continued to increase. So we have the most amount of people exercising today, but we also have the most amount of diseases, because you cannot out-exercise a bad diet. That is just not possible. And this is the same thing many people keep doing. You'll hear a lot of people that go to exercise for the purpose of eating bad. They say, yeah, I exercising today because I'm going out and I'm going and drink later, right? Or going and eat some junk later, or whatnot. And that's because people are only looking at their physical image, and because their physical image might look good, they think they are internally healthy. I've had many people come to me, Stefan, that are exercise enthusiasts.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But internally they are sick, they have cancer, they have metabolic syndrome, they have all sorts of internal diseases. And they thought the exercise was saving them, right? But it wasn't, because your diet is of key importance to your health.
Yeah.
What you put into your body is more important than how you move your body. Right? It's more important. That is what fuels your movement. So we have to become more conscious of that. And that is what we do at Setwise Holistic Health Clinic, where we re-educate. We re-educate. I don't sell products, right? My whole thing is about information and knowledge.
Yeah.
Now, we always say,
and you are not a herbalist. I just want to make that clear. He is not a herbalist.
Right? And I hope people get that. There is no, and you know what's the interesting thing? Medication and herbs, what's the difference? One is raw and unrefined, which is the herbs, and one is refined.
Refined, yeah.
Right? Which makes the refined one safer than the raw one, because the raw one coming in with all the impurities. Do you know how much people come to me who have gotten terminally ill because they went by herbalists and consume raw, unrefined products?
Right.
Many of them have even had to be referred to the hospital because they have damaged their system to an extent that it is unrepairable, because they go off of stuff that is not backed by any data. It have no research to back many of these things. A lot of these things, especially in the herbal community, they make claims based on no research, or they make claims off of anecdotals. Right? Off of anecdotals. And they are unaware what they have been doing to themselves. Though I am not a fan of either. Alright? I'm not a fan of either, but one is worse than the other.
No.
At least one, you know the side effects. And then when it comes to the herbal community, people are of the belief that there are zero side effects. Right?
Okay.
And I see it every single day. People come in with a lot of negative side effects because they took something that they only have rumors to back the credibility of it. Right?
Okay.
So I show people the science. I get you to understand why you should or shouldn't be eating this. I show you the science, you know. This is why, how much years now? It's almost 4 years now that on the program.
Yeah,
and we still can't get nobody to come and debate me live on national TV. Right?
Well, we you know, anybody who's willing, they could always message 327-7400. We don't mind having that debate and that conversation. I think it'd go well. We just have about a minute left, so I just wanted to say something here, or I wanted to ask you something. That's not, eh? I didn't think that. Yeah, I just wanted to ask you something here, just for people's knowledge, because I know that people are very impatient and they're looking for. Some people still believe in a quick fix. How long should somebody understand? How long should somebody prepare themselves to be on this program for, at least bare minimum? Because I know some people jump on for a month, 2 months. They say, boy, this ain't working. And then I know personally you have had people who have gone and they've started to see results 5 to 6 months in, and they start to see the improvement.
Yeah, so it all depends on the issues that they are dealing with. Some people have minor issues, right? But based on actual studies that was done, like there were studies that were done from Harvard University, right? And what they suggested is that people give themselves 6 months to 1 year. 6 months to a year is what is recommended. Now, many things, for example, you're going to do an A1C test, right, which is to test your blood sugar level over a period of time. That is 3 months. So I tell people, if you can't go for 6 months to a year, at least give yourself 3 months minimum. Give yourself 3 months.
3 months minimum.
But you have spent your whole life, because a lot of people see it when they do the consultation with me. I've mentioned it many times, everyone that have done a consultation with me, because I show the evidence, right, the science, that they were all left in shock, and then they realize, wait, so I have been damaging myself for most of my life. And I'm like, yes. So you don't want to have the belief that you have been damaging yourself for most of your life, that you would just fix your problem in a day or 2 days. That's not possible. That's impossible, right? Many medications give people that impression. Keep in mind, those medications are just temporary solutions, right? It's not permanent fixes, all right? And this is why a lot of people would come now. You'll see a lot of people who have been diabetic for 20-something years. If you have a disease for 20-something years, it means the medication is not working. Yeah. It's just giving you a false sense of security, and then you develop either your eyes go bad, your kidneys start to go bad, or you have to amputate some part of your body because of all those years that it went not dealing with the root cause. We need to get out of that quick fix mindset, because we think, no, once I get this temporary relief, I am fine. Let me go and eat the ice cream because I'll just pop a pill after. No, you are killing yourself. And this is why they say youth is wasted on the young, because the people now that really wants to live, they realize, you know, I kind of messed up my time.
You don't study that when you're young.
Now I want to make the changes in my diet, but when they had the youth, when they should have made the changes to protect themselves from all the heartache and suffering that they are going through later on in life, they didn't, because they're saying, nah, I young, YOLO, they're saying you only live once, right? So people doing all kind of things that they should not be doing in their youth. And when they really truly want to live now, when they're older, that's when they don't have the life to live.
Well, man, look, Seth is always available. People, 761-1962.
1952.
1952. 761-1952. So 761-1952 or 279-3935. You will get him on either one of those numbers. The latter is a WhatsApp number. The previous is phone call. You could call him there. You can book an appointment for the Holistic Health Clinic, and you can get a consultation today. And of course, this is all nutrition based. It has nothing to do with herbs or anything like that. It's all about nutrition and changing your diet in order to deal with whatever sickness you may be suffering from and be heavily dependent on medication for. So Seth, thanks a lot, and we're going to chat again next week, man.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Yeah, man.